So one of the reasons why I feel that it's so important that we discuss the Last Supper and the Passover is because, in essence, the Last Supper is the last discourse that Christ gives. It's his most important teachings that he wants to give to his apostles before he leaves. The interesting thing about it is much of the time where he's talking, here in only a few hours, he's going to be in the Garden of Gethsemane. He's going to be basically for the next approximately 24 hours, stay awake that entire time through either trials, flogging, being on the cross. And here he is. What does he say? He says, "Peace I leave with you." He says, "The Comforter I give unto you." He talks about comforting the disciples. Here, when he should be the one that should be receiving comfort, he is giving comfort. And so to me, learning about the Last Supper not only helps us to learn about some of the greatest characteristics and attributes of Christ, but also we celebrate the Passover and the Last Supper every week. And it should be something that we learn about on as much as we can. As we also mentioned, it's a precursor to Gethsemane, Calvary, and the Garden Tomb. And another thing is that John focuses his gospel a great deal on the events of the Last Supper. Now, I was going to put the percentage in there. If you were listening at the beginning, you would have caught this. So if you caught that, don't say it. But how much would you say, we'll first start off with Matthew, Mark, and Luke, because they're all about the same. What percentage of the gospel would you say focuses on the Last Supper in Matthew, Mark, and Luke? Just take a guess. 2%. Okay, Luke is 2%, so very good. What would you say Matthew and Mark is?
5%.
1%. All right, now let's go to John. How much would you say focuses on the gospel, or focuses on the Last Supper in the Gospel of John? Again, if you were listening at the beginning.
I think you said 20%.
Yes. It's actually 19%, but basically 20%. And if you include the discourse which is given the bread of life, which is basically a sacramental discourse that he gives within the Gospel of John as well, chapter 6, it would be approximately 25% of the Gospel of John focuses on the Last Supper or on the sacrament. So to me, I would say if he is willing to put 25% of his time, shouldn't we maybe consider that it should be something that we should study as well in our own lives?